I gave comments to Carrie and she said she took care of them, so.
Just one sentence.
Yep. It was just the way I said something, it sounded like John Delano had said it. And I wanted to change it, so.
It's under solar.
That was a comment about the pesticide?
Yeah, because that's what I had heard from him, but it's not like he was here saying it and almost made it sound like he said it to the board, so I didn't want it to be
Is
confused.
that about Lincoln Street?
Yeah,
I think he said he did some light testing, but nothing.
yeah, light testing,
Yeah.
I mean, not
You
very
know what,
much.
they've already bought it, they're fairly certain.
They don't wanna
they're
find
planning a
it.
special meeting.
Well, the rumor I heard is they're planning the special meeting for that, and it's like big money, and not as much as they were.
No,
as they thought.
because it's all wet, it's wet.
I know.
What, the fields are wet?
No, the backland.
The backland's wet, but also heard, like, the estimate that they had at the town meeting for what they were gonna pay for the stuff was way off, is what I heard.
Really?
They're coming in for a lot more money. But I don't know, I mean, I don't have anything official, so we're not gonna.
But everything truly has escalated.
Yeah, no, that's, you'd expect it to jump
Yeah.
anyway, we've seen it with
Oh,
stuff on
yeah,
everything.
my KOH deliveries jumped like by $10,000.
Are they, is that with a fuel shot, or is that just a K?
No, it just
price?
went up, it was like so much that she came, not, Alicia came and said, is this okay? I'm like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, we can't go without it, so.
Right.
Yeah, we can't, we don't have any choice. As long as we're getting the best price we can on it, that's all we can do. So, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And right now we're signing warrants and rebates, refunds.
Is Astrochemicals the KOH?
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's the big bill.
I thought we went out and got Astro as the,
That's what that invoice is for, is KOH.
Doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't KOH come from the Soviet Union?
I forget, it's,
I think it does.
I hope not, because if he
That's
feels
all.
we need it, he'll, gouge us on it.
Yep. I thought that's where most of it was derived from. It's also like fertilizer, they do a lot of fertilizer too. They mine a lot of fertilizer, make it.
Is that what you get to do when you get sent to Siberia? Wasn't that used to always be the same? And not that it could be a great place, I don't know, I just know that's what used to be the same.
That was their work camps
Yeah.
Work camp.
for re-education.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the end of the new business, we don't really have any, except for the, Wayne could tell us about the well that he pulled today, put the new pump in.
So we got lucky, the bearing didn't go and send it up into the bowl, so they replaced the motor. But right now I'm being held out electronically by, I believe, the Parco valve, instrumentation wise, and because there's no real schematics on it, I have no idea. So Mike is supposed to come by tomorrow. So wherever I am, I'm trying to burn off my vacation time and I'm not having success. Everything seems to dump on me here. So whenever he says he's gonna be here, I'll make sure I'm here so I can see it. But I think I've replaced a relay out in the panel before for it, so I'm not sure if that's what went, but everything was working when Kenny was trying to restart it on Sunday, but then when we went to fire it up today, you could hear everything happening in the PLC, but then it's not getting out there.
Okay.
So Mike can attach and he'll see the PLC logic and he'll see it where it's stopping at. And then he can better tell me what signal we're looking for out there.
So how long, now that the motor's in, how long before we can put it back online?
So I just need it to run and let it run for a couple of hours to waste, and then I can sample it. And then,
You gotta do 2 samples, right?
yeah, I don't, there's no like real thing. Them guys are like, oh, so you can put it right to the street, and I'm like, no. You guys, even though you really didn't do much of anything and it's a stainless motor, I'm not gonna be the one that does that one.
Yeah. So you're gonna make one good sample?
I'll get one good sample. I'll pull a second one. If I get one good sample, then, you know, I'll be happy with that.
So it could be back up in business in a week?
Hopefully, if I can get it tomorrow, if I can get it up and going tomorrow, I should have it back by Friday.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it could have been.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, so Rick chasing new water all the time is a good thing, but it has to be away from here. All of our water is right here.
Yeah.
So when Manly went down, I don't have another 400,000 a day or 300,000 gallons a day. I lost that ability. Because if I turn it on from here, then I'll clean all our pipes out, but the residents aren't gonna be happy when they're on the receiving end. Because the velocity in the pipes will change and we'll clean all the pipes. While they were flushing, we had to suspend flushing on after Monday because we were way behind and not catching up. The flushing, it was dirty, the system's dirty, but there's nothing I can do about it now. If we,
No, you can't tell people they can't use the water
right,
and go around running hydrants.
yep, no, it wouldn't have, if I couldn't catch up, then there was no sense
No.
in getting further behind. So if I follow the thing, station 1, 2, and 4, so I'm supposed to meet with, another day I can't pick up. Blue Leaf is the pilot study
Okay.
people, and they wanna see about electrical connections, so I'm gonna meet with them on Wednesday. So they're planning for October or November to do the pilot study here.
Oh, wait, here, not the one for the iron and manganese plants down here, not the pilot
Yeah.
study for the,
Right, not for Manly,
okay.
but it might be both. I'll get a better, when I get them here, then I can ask them and I don't hear it third and fourth hand.
Yeah.
So station 3, they rehabbed the driveway well, but there's a hole in, they believe it's a hole in the screen down at the bottom. They said that it usually goes right where the screen is welded to the casing. So he's finished today serging it, and he'll sync the camera tomorrow and look around. So worst case, if there's a hole in the screen, they'll have to push a new screen down and in. To me, it sounded like it's something they do regularly. So, but he was holding a bucket full of stone that's, you know, packed around the casing.
Oh, right.
How old's the screen? From when it went in, or?
Yeah, so that was prior to, I don't know when them wells was sank, but,
Is this the one by the river?
no, this is the driveway well.
The driveway one.
But I think they're both fairly new, because the original one was in the building.
Right. Well, fairly new,
I mean, I've been here 17
15.
years, so it was
Yeah.
running
15
like
or 20 years.
before I got here.
Yeah.
And it was probably in place a couple of years before that.
Yeah. That one there was the one in the driveway is a replacement well for the one inside the building.
Yeah,
That'd be within 50 feet.
and it definitely was.
And then we put the one down by the river. We changed that. That well was always there, but we changed that to a pump inside the well. That used to be a vacuum system.
Yeah, yeah, because the cup, I want to say Parco, but it's not, the way they couple the well to the pipe.
Pitless adapter?
Oh, the
Pitless adapter.
pitless adapter, yeah.
That one looked, it's different than all the others.
Yeah, we put that in, we installed that ourselves.
Yeah, both of those wells are different. They're not the heavy duty ones, they're like side like a regular well.
Right, exactly. Yep,
I know on that one, when, you know, we had lots of water around, that well used to be, it was like just under the top. The water level would be way above the river and, you know, like only a few inches down in the casing.
Did he say anything about a lead time for a new screen?
It didn't sound like it was a big deal, like before he cleans. So I know the river well is usually the dirtiest and it's the biggest too, it's like a 24 inch.
the water level in the one by the river is very different than the river water elevation.
Yeah, because it's coming from the confined layer. Underneath.
Right, underneath. And it actually comes up higher than the river, I think,
Oh yeah, it does.
when it's,
I haven't looked at it in a long time.
when it
but,
just sits there. Yeah, it's under more pressure.
And after the updated replacement well, like I said, I just received the quote. I don't care if it's 5,000, just put it together.
Yeah, because otherwise we're dead until we get the
Right.
VFDs.
Yep.
There's no reason for that.
I know they wanted the heavier thing, but the lead time was almost a year out, so they went with too small a handhold, I guess. I don't really care. Just put it together.
And when you get that wired up, so you can use it, that should be a full load start.
Yeah.
There's no soft start or anything.
No, until they do the thing right. But it'll take me almost a month because you have to sample for everything under the sun in it. So it'll take a month to get them back and then submit it all to DEP for approval to put it to the street. So no matter what, it's still like 2 or 3 months out.
And Tater and Howard's okay with doing it for the full start, that they're elected.
Yeah, so far, but the way things are lining up, the VFDs could be here before then.
Another thing to blame on COVID.
The asset management, I believe that's closed out because I have the final and it's sitting in the share drive, but I'm not gonna print it out because it's like 300 and something pages long. So I can,
And that's all at DEP, everything was submitted and not
yep,
gonna get yelled at by the state.
right, they should be all done screaming at us.
And then we'll get the rest of the reimbursement back.
Yep. So the Lincoln Street warehouse, I reached out because the two properties wanted stubs. So I reached out to the developer and I got a phone call that he didn't want to be talking to anybody. I'm like, well, because he doesn't want to be holding the bag if they do this and then people don't pay. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. So we said,
What are you talking about there? I didn't follow.
so I forget his name,
The two houses.
Esther Brooks is one of them, and then the two houses on the other side.
Yeah, the yellow one and the
Yeah.
one set back in, you mentioned them last.
Yep. So I didn't wanna get them forgotten, since the plans were approved, that's when I reached out to the developer. And that's when I got that back from him, but instead he wanted drawings, so I said, you know, I'd submit a sketch. So I submitted a sketch for, Mr. Esterbrook's because he was the only one at that time that had called me back and he was looking, I gave him a sketch for 2 8-inch lines stubbing in, and so I hadn't heard anything from the developer, so I reached out to him again today because I heard from the other property owner looking, you know, what would the cost be, and I don't have any idea. So I reached out to Rich and he said he forwarded that on, so I don't know whether he was sitting on it or, and so that to his estimator.
So where's this, where are you talking about the yellow house? Is
So-
that the one right across the street
So if
from
you
West
come-
Street?
Yeah, so if you head towards 24, you go by Market Basket, you go by the oil change place, the next two houses, you know, there's a field that separates them.
And what do they wanna put in there?
They're speculating.
Oh. So,
They just wanna put something in there while
Right.
it's open.
Yep, while the road is open, they don't wanna be closed out. They're both for sale, I don't think they've received any offers, but, you know, everybody thinks it's gonna become I don't know what.
How many acres are in there? Most of it's wet, isn't it?
Most of it, so the first one closest to Market Basket, I think is mostly wet, but it has some dry area. It's the other one that has the most upland.
But they don't know what they wanna put in this, you don't
No,
know what
well, that's
size
like-
stub to put in.
Right, that's like Mr. Estabrook's, it's like, I can't tell you what to put. Like, you could put a 12-inch and then tee it and have two 6-inches, it depends upon what you put in the building and what it's, you know, how flammable it is. I can't, so I just gave him a sketch for 2 8-inch, cause that's what he finds. Like, you gotta tell me something, cause I'm not gonna guess for you when it's wrong and then I'm the guy
Yep.
that looks bad.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they could build anything in there that would be big enough that need
No,
more than an 8-inch.
Almost everything else
Most
in
take
there
4 or
is 6.
6.
Yeah, almost everything is 6, but if you don't wanna tell me anything,
No,
and I
if they-
understand they're speculating too.
Yeah. So it's the cost, but they be paying for it, or why is the developer was gonna pay for it as part of doing the road?
No, well, the developer doesn't, no, he wants them
Okay,
to
you-
pay for it.
Alright, yeah, but you said something about if they
He
don't.
doesn't, well, he doesn't wanna get involved, cause he's like, alright, what if they don't pay? Then, you know, I put it in his pipe. And I could see his side of the story, I'm like, well, I don't wanna do it either, what if they don't pay? You know, so at the time, they'll probably be given a price and, you know, like, get it up before they start running or you don't get it.
Is this a developer that's trying to buy this, or?
No, there's nobody, like, the one is just Mr. Estabrook's himself, cause he owns pretty much that whole, from street to street.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
And the other ones are just the people selling products.
right, I think the realtor got on them and
Yeah.
I believe the older couple that lives closest to Market, but I don't think they like the traffic anyway, so I think they wanna get out.
It's not gonna get any better.
No, well, it might all be hung up on the other side of the traffic light now.
Gotcha. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
But we don't have any schedule now on when they're gonna
No, he's,
start go in and try to do any of this.
no, so he's losing to the winter. I can't see them letting him open that up when ice or snow might be flying. Not to say that they wouldn't, but yeah, I haven't heard anything more. That's why I just wanted to be in front. I didn't want to forget them. They had asked, so I made sure I got it out there.
You know, cause you know it'll come back and they'll blame you if they, you know, right after it gets paved, they'll decide they wanna go ahead.
Right.
And you won't be able to do anything.
So are they gonna start the Lincoln Street warehouse too?
He has the thing, so I thought his feeling was he didn't care about the land takings as long as he already has the steel, so he could be building his building, he could run his infrastructure down to it, and then he's just waiting on, you know, the land takings and the street. I mean, he's paying for everything, but he's not the one, you know, he's got the money, he's not the one holding it up. But I know we'll know when he's gonna do it because we'll see test pits. He's got a test pit to figure out where the AC main is on West Street, because it's not, it says, the drawings all say 20 feet back. And that's what I've told him repeatedly, but I haven't told him, I believe there's an old main in between. Because there's a dead gate there that's, shows up on our system not connected to anything, and I think we found it before. You find it all over town. There used to be 2-inch and 4-inch feeding the town, and over time, I guess they,
Abandoned in place.
Right.
Didn't rip them out.
and it's not shown anywhere, so when you dig in and you finally find it, now you're drilling this little teeny hole in it and hoping it doesn't start spraying forever. Because you don't know where it's fed from.
But you'll get they'll have to pull a trench opening permit. You get
Yeah.
a notification of that.
Yeah, I
right?
should get a dig
So,
safe.
so
for that.
you'll know before.
Yeah, there were
Not
like
like
3
you'd be
pits he
surprised.
had to do. He wanted to see some drainage, like 2 out on West Center, and then, you know, 1 at the, where the transite was.
Yeah, well, it's not a surprise.
No, it shouldn't be. And Frank Gallagher and Ross Messina, we can probably take them off the schedule, I don't.
I think that's basically
I think
gone
this,
for now anyway.
yeah, cause they must have had some court case, I know I saw it in the planning board minutes, I think they were waiting on a decision out of that.
So you wanna take that off, Kerry,
Mhm.
for the next?
I mean, if they wanna come in, then they just have to notify us to get on the agenda, it's not.
Am I taking off the asset
So
management
the
too?
next meeting is gonna be
Yeah.
water rates, right?
Huh, yeah.
We got
Yeah,
water
yeah,
rate discussion?
James said he was coming in, I'm not sure if he's coming in with the, forget the woman's name.
Jenna?
Yeah, that's it, Jenna.
Can you have for that meeting, the amount of money that we brought in last year for, all the tie-in fees and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Separate it out so we can give that to them so we understand where we generate some of this money, what we use it for.
And is that a holiday weekend or, no? So that'll actually be on Monday, right, that meeting?
yeah.
The 17th,
17th.
yeah.
What's that, 17th, was it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you seen any electric vans yet being sold through the government?
No, I've seen the Ford, and I've heard the things about it towing and losing its range by 50%. But I haven't seen anything else
How many
yet.
miles do they get?
I wanna say it was like I read
300?
the articles, I didn't pay,
I was seeing something like in the range of like 250 to 300 just normal driving,
Right.
but then they hook a trailer to it and they get lucky to get 40.
40.
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it just sucks, the extras just takes the battery.
even when like I saw, the one I saw, the guy was going out to pick something up, the trailer was aluminum, lightweight, and empty. And it still took half of his mileage going out.
Yeah, the one I saw was people trying to tow boats with them. You know, not gigantic boats either, but it's like, yeah, well, they could get to the ramp, they're not getting home unless there's a charging station at the ramp and they stay all day.
We
That,
could,
that technology seems a little, for work trucks and stuff like that, seems just a little bit.
I mean, in the beginning, now they just have to improve it.
Yeah, it's just not there yet.
But if, what's the biggest thing we tow around, the air compressor?
Yeah, the air compressor, yeah,
That's
they're
about
probably about the heaviest,
And
although
we
the
don't-
back is heavy.
You don't pull it out that often,
No,
not a big deal. Because when you bring it back, you just charge it up at night and be fully charged for you by morning.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to plow with one of those though.
No.
You wouldn't be able to hang a plow on it.
But we don't plow with the vans anyways.
No.
That's a lightweight truck, you know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna put the,
well, I don't like plowing, I think it beats the crap out of the equipment anyway.
yes, it does.
Did we skip the Walnut Street tank?
I didn't talk about it, but I know they did their, I probably did. They did the hydraulics, they had asked me questions, I haven't heard anything more out of them again.
Yeah. They're gonna be here,
They'll be
2
here,
weeks,
so at the
so-
next meeting, so
give them a
maybe I'll
heads up.
send you out an email, questions you should be asking.
Yeah,
Who's that? That's, that you're
So I
talking?
know James is coming. I don't know if, because Jenna is coming.
I think he had said she would
Yeah,
when they did that. It wasn't gonna just be him, it didn't sound like
Right.
for the race. But I mean, he's kinda overseeing the different projects, so he should have a good idea on what's going on with Walnut Street too.
yeah.
That would've helped.
So,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be the same meeting as the rates, that we're gonna be discussing the rate study?
Yeah, that'll be it. So you'll have him here at your disposal. Unless something comes up, that'll basically be it.
Yeah, we'll concentrate on the water rates, but then we'll ask him about them and all the other work they're doing.
Yeah,
Might
because
as
he
well ask
pretty
him
much
about
answers
that.
to everything on that sheet.
Yeah. So
Okay.
while we have him, especially if his boss is here with him too.
Yeah.
That never hurts.
Yeah. The only other one is the job posting. I'm like, can we just find some good high school students that graduated at West Bridgewater High and hire them? Like, I'm tired of looking at the same crap all the time.
No, if you do, after a while, it doesn't seem, you just get the same.
And I see the same people over and over again.
I thought this was gonna go a lot longer, because I figured we were gonna be going on over the wells, this was, I'm serious, I was thinking we were gonna have a big issue here. Sounds like we should be in decent shape.
As long as I can get that and I'm fairly certain where it is, I just, either that or I'll call an electrician and have him, if Mike can't figure it out, then I'll just get a local electrician, because I'm fairly certain where the signal is going,
It's like you can hear it clicking, but the valve itself isn't.
So you can hear the PLC you can hear the relays clicking in the PLC.
Yeah.
But then the Paco has a strange hold over everything. I don't know why they gave it that much control, and it doesn't tell you anything. But I know that it can hold it out even when you're out at the MCC and you're turning it by hand on the dial there. The Paco still holds over that.
It's supposed to be protecting the pump. So
Right.
They can't, so.
I can't wait to be rid of them Pacos. Of course, they're still there, they're just locked open. I gotta cut them out of the system.
Yeah, the thing is, everybody's switching over to VFDs on most stuff, it's not like there's any real
Right.
secondary market for them.
Yeah, once you
Because
put the
you used to use
VFDs
Pacos on everything.
Yeah, and they work, it's just
Yeah.
there's no description on what it's doing. When it goes bad, you don't know what went bad on it.
No, we have issues with those. Brian Stonkus, I think.
Yeah, and he's still.
That's who was doing them, and that was it. If anything went on one of those, that's called over
Yeah,
there.
and I mean, he's really good about coming, because I was not wanting to put any money into it, and then it started screwing up, so I brought him out.
When those things open up, that steel half moon thing goes back and there's a magnet on it. And a lot of times, that magnet has to go up and hit a piece of steel that has a switch. And if that thing doesn't cycle all the way, and that magnet doesn't click that thing, that Paco doesn't move again. So sometimes, and I remember down the station one, we would go back and would miss it by about that much, and the magnet just wouldn't bring that switch in. And that we could figure out what was wrong with it. And then when the Paco guy showed up, he said, "Oh, it's just hanging up because it's not making a full cycle with that magnet." It was a adjustment, it was a simple fix, but it had us puzzled for a while. Without that, making this complete cycle.
And with those, you didn't want to mess with them too much, because if you messed up a setting and now something blew up because the valve didn't work right,
Right.
now it's on you.
Yep. That's
So,
why I know where it's heading to, I just
no,
need
that's
them to
fine.
tell me.
We don't need another one down because
Right, no.
We're gonna have variable speed controllers out here, but you're just gonna take that Paco right out then, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the pipe on either side, or however it's in there, cut it right out and put a piece of pipe.
Yep.
Or maybe a gate valve in its place.
But you still got that meter in there,
Yeah,
a Venturi meter. That stays pretty accurate, doesn't it?
yes. So that's, so there's a mag meter out there, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I don't remember what I put in there. Yeah, the mag meter. But that's just like a Venturi.
Right,
It just takes the pressure of the water as it, before the funnel, and then takes the pressure on the other side, and with the velocity of the water, it calculates how much water is going through it by the different pressures on either side. And it's amazing how accurate it is. Oh, it's
as long
fascinating.
as they don't get clogged, they don't wear out either.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's no moving parts. That was a great thing. That's what I liked about them. And the other thing is, once they start building up with a little bit of crud on them, they just adjust the pressures so that it's still true. It compensates for that buildup. And they can do that for a while before you have to take it apart and really clean it. So I always had good luck on them. Turbo meters, they just got too many moving parts. Manley Street used to have one. That thing broke one time, just because of the speed that it would spin at.
Yeah.
So, when's our next, 17th, our next meeting? Do you have anything you wanna add to this meeting, Kerry?
Nope, I was over at town hall today, and I was asking, about the special town meeting, and they were looking to do it in mid-November, but they're not really, they don't have everything together, so she's thinking it's gonna be in December, but she doesn't have a date.
I gave you a copy of the,
Did you tell them, that we're interested in
Yeah.
some solar on there?
Well, no, I just said, let us know, because we're gonna do something, I think.
that had to do with the two types, there's the iron removal and then there's the bio. So I just figured it was interesting reading, I saw it and it kind of explains it.
Yeah, because we'll be into one or the other.
Right.
More than likely.
Are the levels in the tank good enough to keep up with this rate till Friday? If we get best case scenario Friday?
I don't wanna have to chase any, so right now we've held 103 feet all day.
Yeah.
So we haven't gone down. I think we're supposed to get some drizzle or some inclement weather for the next 2 days, so hopefully that holds everybody down.
Except for the people who like to water when it's raining.
Yeah, I don't, like, the guy on Manley, he has a private well, but, like, it's downpouring and he's got his sprinklers running.
Yeah, private well, we don't care.
Well, it's still, that straw is still sipping from the same place our straw is. Our straw is just a little bigger.
Yeah, but theirs is deeper,
Yeah,
theirs is down.
Some of them,
This is the
not
rock.
all of them, like some of them, like I ran into a few on Harvestwood, they were put in when the houses were built.
oh, so they're shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah, 'cause I know talking like to Bill, this is like down a couple 100 feet.
Yeah, and then others where it's a real well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
down
they
a
won't
couple
lay
hundred
down,
feet.
and they're not gonna affect us, but,
No, they're getting something else.
yeah.
Yeah, that, Harvestwood, that had some decent water over there. That was a nice sand pit.
Yeah, in 2 cases. When my father built the house, I'm like, must be nice.
Who's that, Burrow?
I'm not sure who it was, but it's like they got the house because obviously they inherited it.
Yeah, Jimmy's dad built a subdivision over there. All right, well, your motion to adjourn,
Anything else, Tom? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.